Okay, hi everyone, welcome to tonight's webinar where we're officially showing you the new volume spread analysis trade setup indicators which are being sent through an email system that measure volume, they measure price, they measure the closing price, and they most importantly measure trend. Now today I sent out some alerts which I'm going to talk about in a minute, but I'm recording this on the 8th of December 2015. And I'm delighted to say, for those of you in the United Kingdom in London, I'm speaking and trading live with my live account at the International Traders Expo with my great friend Rob Hoffman, who I've worked with for many years, lovely guy. And we like to trade together. We're competitive, but also we're good friends. And I'm really looking forward to meeting you. I know a lot of you have said you're coming. So if you're going to be there, it's at the Connaught Rooms in London. It's this Friday, and we're trading from I think it's 4 p.m. UK time, something like that. But you can check the schedule by just clicking up here on this button, and I'll just pop that in there for you into the chat window. And yeah, always enjoy trading live and meeting people. That's one of the reasons I do this job. When I was a police officer, it was all about meeting people. And when I changed careers, I've met even more people doing this. But this time, fortunately, I don't have to arrest them unless they've gone long after an upthrust, and then I have to actually take some serious measures. But other than that, we're going to have a good session here today. We sent some trade alerts out earlier, which I'm going to explain in our Trading the Market service. But what we're going to talk about tonight is this, okay? And something that's been in development for a long time, but I actually want to congratulate right now our Senior Development our Programmer and Chief Technology Officer, Grigory Margolin, who's actually made this happen for real. This was Tom Williams's dream. It was an idea of mine to take Tom's work and put it into an alert system, and now those alerts are real. And we've been testing them for several weeks, and finally we're at a point where we can show you them, explain them to you, and show you what's going on. Now, first of all, I'm going to start with the Forex charts, but I'm actually managing a trade in the futures market at the same time. So just bear with me because it's just popped back up here. But basically, we had a short alert over here. We had a sign of weakness, an upthrust. Now, you can see that the market has fallen, but then it's just a bit of buying coming back in here, and it's popped just back up to this 500 level. So I'm going to watch this very closely. Now, I'm trading this particular alert, or this particular contract, I should say, on my futures account. And I'm only trading one lot because we're still testing a lot of this stuff. But one of the things I want to show you is if this is confirmed, we will have a trade. Now, this is my live account, okay, so it's 4855. What I'm actually going to do, because we're so close to the end of the trading session, is I'm just going to take this stop and move it right the way down because I don't want to get and lose money on the trade. I'd rather make this one break even because I took it a little bit late. And the reason I took it late was because it set up late, okay? This is the British pound versus the US. I do not recommend you even try and trade this now because at the moment we're about to close, and at the end of the day, I think, as I can see, we are now. It's 3 o'clock. We're done. So it is a trade that's there. What I'm going to do is let that one sit for a second and show you the Forex trades. Remember, the Forex market is still open. Now, let's have a look at the Forex alerts that we did earlier, okay? And we're going to talk about each one individually. And can I just confirm with the tradingthemarkets.com members that are here, did you all get the alerts for the currency pairs that I sent earlier? And I'll just show them to you. I just want to make sure everyone got them. There was the pound Japanese yen. There was the pound versus the Swissy. Okay, and then there was the euro pound as well. And previous to that was the swing trade on crude oil, which was of course a short. And crude oil has made massive lows in the last week, as we know. So nothing wrong there. Okay, good. So let's talk about each one. And this is a bit of a lesson as well. For those of you that are Trading the Markets members, what do you look for? After you've got an alert, what do you go and look for? Because the alert is only that. It's an alert. It's like a warning signal. It's like a ding, 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 a warning signal that something's about to happen. Okay, and something did happen, as we'll see. But you have to go and look at the alerts. Look at the chart, says Kyriakos. Exactly. The chart is what you're using. You're using the alert to go to the chart and use your intelligence to read the chart, which will teach you. If some of you in here are new, we'll teach you that to understand why the market is doing what it's doing. Why is the market weak at certain points and strong at certain points? Why are we trading around the round number here in the futures market? Why? Very simple. And it's not difficult to understand, because professional money are setting themselves up for a big announcement. However, today I'm going to explain to you, and what we want to do is show you how what we've developed is based on the behavior of the market. In fact, we've got a nice no demand signal just come in here, so we'll see if that's confirmed. But what I'm going to show you is how Gregory has developed a system that doesn't just look at volume. Okay, doesn't just look at volume. He doesn't just look at price action. It looks very closely at trend, as we're about to show you. So let's move forward. Here is the MT4 platform with FP markets. You can see here the British pound on the hourly chart versus the Swiss franc. So it's the pound versus the franc. Okay. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go back in time to the pound versus the franc here. All right. And I'm going to show you the alert that came via email. Okay, which came in at 3 p.m. UK time, I believe. I think it was that one. By the way, this is an account that we've set up internally to send from the software trade alerts that meet the criteria for going long or short when they're triggered. So here we have at 3 p.m. a trade alert. And indeed, I sent this alert out prior to this first alert, because I had another one down here, but this just confirmed it. Now, when I open the actual alert, what we see is the word potential, and that's a very key word. Okay, yes, I knew that was coming. Everyone said it should be short, not salt, and you're right, it should be short, correct. There is that. That's been corrected, I believe, but that's something I think internal to do with the way the alerts are sent from MT4. This is sent from the MT4 platform. But yeah, that should, of course, correctly say short. You're absolutely right. So ignore the spelling error, please. Forgive us for that. I don't think it's our software that's done that. It's the way it's sent. But nevertheless, S is sort for short, okay, for the purposes of tonight's webinar. Now, what we do have is this alert telling us we've got this short trade coming up. But what we've then got to do, okay, is it's okay, Gregory's just confirmed we've got to correct it. So it's just a spelling error. No problem, okay? Forgive us for that one. We're talking now about charts. So we go and look at the chart, okay, and that's the most important part. Now, when we look at the alert, the first thing you want to do is make sure you've got the contract correct. So this is the British pound versus the Swiss franc in FX. And this alert has come from the MetaTrader platform MT4. So we go over here, we open our MT4 platform, and we look to see what is the principle that we're looking for to short the market. Now, this is a 1 hour chart, so I wasn't particularly interested in the smaller time frames, although scalping today was quite profitable as well, which is why I sent the alerts out as scalp trades. But what I did think was going to happen is on the hourly chart, we'd see weakness appearing. Okay, so here we have quite clearly no demand. Now, we know it's no demand because we can click on it and it tells us. But look, most importantly here, about what the future says about the bar. The next bar should be down to confirm the indicator. Okay, now Does everyone agree, yes or no, that the next bar closes lower than the close of this bar? Do you all agree with that statement, yes or no, before I move on? Do you agree with that statement, yes or no? Again, just reaffirm it in your mind. Do you agree with the statement? Okay. Do you agree that the diamonds, which are our short-term trending system on the hourly chart, are red, meaning negative? Do you agree with that statement, yes or no? Again, please contribute because this is going to help you to learn. Okay, good. Do you agree that the medium-term trending system here, when that appeared, was negative, and right behind it, it was negative as well? Do you agree with that? And if you're colorblind, forgive me, we need to work out a way, and I think we can, for those of you that are colorblind, Jose, we could actually write here in the boxes red and green. We can do that. So we can do that. And in fact, you're not the first person to draw my attention to that, and we will help you with that, Jose, because that's something that's been brought to my attention more than once, is that we're using a lot of color here, and for certain traders with color blindness, they can't see the color. But guess what? You can read the word red and you can read the word green, and that's something that we might put in each box, a G and an R, and I'm going to talk to Gregory about this, our programmer, our chief technology officer, to put that in, because I think it's very, very important. So please note that I am dealing with that, and I will deal with that. I think it's important as the CEO of the company to acknowledge that. So, yes, but that's another thing. Please note as well that these, if you're colorblind, these are customizable. You don't have to have them red or green. You could have them black or gray. You can actually change and change those colors to something that works for you. So that is possible within the software. Just know that, Jose, it is possible. Sorry, I'm just looking at all the questions. Tom's coming about the technical support. Well, let me talk, Tom, about that in a minute, because that's slightly changed, okay, from the last few months in what we're doing and how we offer tech support, because we have grown as a business exponentially in the last 8 months, and we're continuing to grow. And obviously we have growing pains, which I certainly accept. So we've got a new system of support, which is a ticketing system, but I don't want to come to that right now because I'm talking about trades we're actually in. Okay, so please let me talk about the alerts, and we'll come to the other stuff at the end. If you've got questions, please at the end feel free. I've got 1.5 hours with you here. Let's maximize the time together so that you can all learn. So what we see here is a no demand bar. Now what I want to do here is, first of all, the trade alert came in. The second one was 3 p.m., but there was one first thing in the morning. Now, when I get an alert, the first thing I'm going to do is look at the scanner. Okay, I'm going to check the scanner. I'm going to make sure to see if the scanner is aligning with what I'm thinking it's going to do. So we put the scanner up and we say here, okay, everyone look at this scanner. By the way, this is, for those of you that are new, this is a proprietary scanner built into the Trade Guider software that plugs into MT4, Sierra Charts, Infinity Charts, Ninja Trader, Metastop, which is just coming shortly, hopefully TradeStation as well. But what it does, it plugs in. Now, what it does, it then adds in our analysis over the top. Now, looking at this scanner on the daily chart, and remember, this last block would be the time frame that's just filled. This is a 1-minute chart. This is a 5-minute chart. This is a 15-minute chart. This is a 30, an hourly, and a 4-hourly, and a daily chart. Looking at this information, would you be short or long in this instrument? Would you be short? Well, I'm already short. You can see where my entry is. But would you be short or long in that instrument based on the information provided by the alert system? Please all type in. I just want you to make sure you see what we see, because if you don't see it, we can't help you. Okay? If you can't get it after this seminar, don't bother coming back, because I can't teach it any differently. I really can't. It is using colours, yes, Jose, but I repeat, you can customize this. And we can certainly, I think fairly easily, for those people who are colourblind, we can put an R into red and a G into green. I don't think that's a difficult thing to do. And in fact, Gregory's in the room, our Chief Technology Officer. We can ask him in a minute whether that's possible to do. So please accept that is possible. I'm sure it is. Okay, now we ignore the weekly chart, and the reason we do is that what I'm looking for in these alerts is for at least 4 or 5 of the 5 is better, but 4 is acceptable for the time frames to align to the negative or the positive side. In this case, it's negative. Now, let's go back to the process, because everything in life is a process. When I first became a trader 14 years ago, I hated the process because I just wanted to get in there and make money. That's all I wanted to do. I didn't want to learn. I didn't want to have to practice. I just didn't want to process. I wanted to rush in there and make some money. Guess what? I had Tom Williams sitting next to me. And every time I made a bad trade, he'd whack me and say, listen, you didn't wait for the principal. You got in too early and you've paid the price. You're paid to be patient. In the trade alerts that we send out today, 3 of them were nailed on, quite simply because I was patient. I don't have to worry if in the first 2 weeks of the month I don't make any money in my trades. I just have to manage my capital. But I'm in absolute awe in the last few weeks when suddenly it all turns in my favour. And it all seems to coincide, as you'll all notice, with news events that come out from the Federal Reserve, the European Central Bank and the Bank of England. It's all set. If you can time the days and months and trades, then you will know, quite frankly, that you can make it in the market. And how do you make it in the market? Very, very simply. You look and you be patient, okay? You be patient. And if you're patient, you will learn how to make money in the market. Okay, now, the second thing to understand is read the chart, which is what we're going to talk about here. Read the chart. And we're going to talk about that right now. And how we're going to do this is we're going to start by actually playing the alert on the Swissy, okay, which is the one we're looking at here, the Swiss franc. And we're going to play the alert that went out here, so you can all hear it. And it went out about 6-7 hours ago now. But I want you to listen very carefully to what you're about to hear. And then I'm going to explain it to you so you can see the relevance. Okay. First of all, can you all hear that, by the way? Can you all hear that? Okay, for some reason, I don't know. Okay, you can't hear it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make it easy for you. I'm not going to play it. I'm just going to explain it. But I'm going to put the actual video publicly into the chat window. So I don't know why that doesn't work anymore. For some reason, it won't allow it to play, but it's something to do with Windows 10. It used to. Anyway, that's fine. That's why I checked. So what I'm going to do is explain the setup to you. Now, the alert went out, and you can see here, it was quite clear what we're looking for. Okay, we were looking for, well, we saw on the 4-hour chart, sign of weakness 148. Okay, 148. Weakness has appeared. And then you look for no demand and up thrusts on the 5-minute and 15-minute time frames. Entries are being seen on the 1-minute time frames as well. Okay, so let's take a look. So what we do is we go and look at the smaller time frames on this instrument. Okay, we can start with a 1-minute chart, which is very busy. I mean, I find this quite difficult sometimes to read. Okay, and you can see here, if we put them up, let's put up less bars here. You can see where the entry was, the weakness, the reversal here. Okay, and it continued to move down. But of course, that's quite noisy. There's a lot of noise on a 1-minute chart. It goes up, it goes down, it goes. But there was, again, remember the golden rule. Okay, weakness appears on up bars. Up bars. That's where weakness appears. Even now, we've got weakness appearing on this instrument. Okay, so we can see that the trade guider alert system is picking up that weakness. Okay, it's picking up the weakness in the market. Okay, so if we see that weakness, we start to look at the different time frames. Over here, one of the things we said to look for in the alert was no demand on a 5-minute chart. Now, look at the signal, and this is how we learn. We read it. Okay, the next bar should be down to confirm the indicator. Okay, but my entry was based on a 1-minute chart up here. Why? Because there was no demand on the 1-minute chart. I agree, not all up bars, that's very important. Good point, Stephen. He says not all up bars are selling, they're not. And if you read my book or you go through our training course, you'll know that you can't just look at every up bar and say, oh, it's gone up, they're selling. There has to be some principles behind it. So I always use a big time frame for the evidence. Remember, I'm an ex-policeman, and you know, I have a surname Holmes, Detective Holmes, Holmes, yeah? I know you might laugh, but just like Sherlock. And I treat a chart like I was investigating a crime scene. I'm looking for the evidence, and so should you. If you can find the evidence in the chart, you can see where the crime's being committed, like in crude oil and gold. And sometimes you see these bars like this, and you ignore them. This is not a bar you can ignore. If you go and look at the recording that I did of this alert, you're going to see that that was one of the key parts of the reason the market was going to fall. And in fact, just after the alert went out, you can see a massive down bar, an up bar on an increase in volume closing in the middle, and we're still going down. Now, it's very straightforward to understand VSA if you think the opposite of what you think. And I know that sounds a stupid comment, but it's true. When you see a market rallying, you think you've missed out. You're tempted to jump in at exactly the wrong time. And unfortunately, that's what costs you money. What you definitely need to do is think the opposite. As a market's rising and it's going up on very high volume, you've got to think about all that volume is activity from smart money. And if they're bullish, they're not going to allow you to make money. So they'll mark it up. They'll make sure that the media are reporting bullish news, and then they'll sell the hell out of it, just like what you saw in gold, just like what happened in gold. Okay, I'm just looking at this this pound trade here that I'm currently in, and it's doing nothing. I mean, I'm going to close it because there's nothing happening. In fact, I think it's already stopped out. Yeah, I closed it. It's done. I mean, nothing happening on the futures contract there because I was too late to the party on that one. I did think it was going to come down lower here. I was short from up here. It came down. It's gone back up. It's doing nothing. There's nothing happening on the futures contract at the moment of the pound. Okay, so just to be clear there, that's why I put the stop in on that particular instrument, and I'll just show you it so you're clear. Okay, that we actually took a trade there, made no money on it. I've just lost my commission. Okay, this is the Infinity 80 futures platform that we use in the live trading room, and sometimes I'll trade futures and forex at the same time, and very often, you know, if I'm late in the futures market, if it doesn't work, I scratch the trade as I've done there. There's no point in holding it. It's not going to work, and that's probably because we're going to have some pretty big announcements coming out over the next 48 hours and then next week as well. So that's the reason for that. Going back to where we're currently at right now in the forex market, it's slightly different because the trade alerts went out much earlier. So here on the British pound versus the Swiss franc, let's just recap on what happened and recap on the thought process behind the alert. First of all, we had at 3 p.m., but in fact I had another one much earlier this morning, an alert as a short trade, okay, with a risk reward of 3. And that was at 3 o'clock, but already I'd made my decision to go short. Okay, second thing, I then decided it was time to issue an alert in the Trading the Markets website. What I said to look for is you've got the trap up move, you've got weakness on the 5-minute chart and supply coming in on the 5-minute chart. Okay, now this here was again on this instrument that we're looking at right now. If we highlight this, you can see here it's the British pound versus the Swiss franc. That was sent out several hours ago, as many of you have already received that alert. So we then look at what was the alert about and what did the market do. It was trading when the alert was sent at 49219. 49219. We're trading at 48871 at the moment. The target for the alert was already achieved anyway, okay, because it popped up here. Now, if you're swing trading it, you can stay in the position. If you're scalping it, which was what the alert was sent out for, it would already have achieved its target based on the email alert, and the target was profit at 488,000. Okay, as you can see, 488,000 was well achieved in here, just at the lower of that bar. So around here, 488,000. It's popped up, but I still think the reason I'm staying with the trade is it still looks weak. Okay, still looks weak. And it looks weak because of what I'm seeing on the 5-minute chart here. And also, you've got clear entries, no demand. That's a weak bar, and it's confirmed on the next bar. Now, of course, the market in America is now closed, so there's going to be no action really much happening at all. Okay, you can't see much happening. Now, let's talk about the secondary alert today, which was a long trade. Now, isn't it interesting? You can go short in one currency pair, and you can go long in the other. So I'm going to show you a trade. I think it was around 2 o'clock. Let's have a quick look here. Yeah, there it is. It's the Euro GBP. Let me just check that's correct. Yeah, and that was the other alert. So again here, it's a long position, okay, in the euro versus the British pound. So not the major cross pair. In fact, today, funnily enough, it was some of the minors that were moving. Okay, now you can see if I put the profile up, profiles, and this is more obvious as a long trade. Okay, can everyone see the hourly chart of the pound versus the, sorry, the British pound versus the euro? So the euro versus the pound. Can every, okay, good, thank you. Okay, good. Perfect. No, it's all right. I just want to make sure you can see this. Now, again, we'll start off by going to the actual alert itself. And we'll just go back one. Okay, so this is the euro pound. It's a long trade. I won't play it to you. I'll just post it in the room for your own benefits afterwards. Again, please go and have a look at them because they're available to everyone publicly here to go and have a look. This was again sent out several hours ago. You can see where we were trading at, right up near this upthrust bar. But again, I want to talk you through the purpose and the process of the alert. Now, it's a process. Okay, it's not a guesstimate. It's a proper process now. The email comes in, the analysts look at the chart, and then I make the final decision, and off we go with it, or we don't. Now, I will accept in November there was not as many alerts as we would like to have seen. And I apologise unreservedly for that. But at the same time, I will make this point. We will not send alerts out until we're absolutely certain they have a very high probability of working. Because it's no point in sending out 15 alerts a week and they all don't work. It's stupid business. And in fact, it would destroy our business. So if there are less alerts during a monthly period, okay, and there are less alerts, then please understand that we'll make up for that, because there are some months, like we're going to see, I'm pretty certain, in December, where the market's going to make big moves. You cannot trade a whipsawing market. You can't do it. Right? It's pointless. You're going to lose money trying to go long and short. Now, Winston's asked, and hello, Winston, will this alert service be working for stocks? And the answer, Winston, you'll be very pleased to know, is yes. It's not ready yet, but that's something we've been asked for so much that we're working on long-term investment signals for stocks using this system. It works short-term, but it will work for stocks. Hans, these are completely new, and I'll tell you why. The previous alerts that we've shown were not based on trends. Okay, they were just based on VSA indicators. This is now looking, and I'll show you in a minute, Hans, and it's a good question, in the way that the trends set up in the scanner. So previously, the scanner and the trending systems was irrelevant to the alert. It didn't make any difference because it couldn't see, the software could not actually see the scanner. But Grigory, who's a brilliant programmer, connected the two together, Hans, which has only recently happened, so that now when we look at an alert in the software and we actually get an email, this is now measuring the trends in the time frames to align to give the alert. David, at the moment, this is the software we're using for the alerts is being developed. And again, we're going to make it available for people to see in the live trading rooms that we do with Darren and Abraham and myself. So every time we open the live trading room moving forward, we'll open the email alert system and we'll go straight to the alert. But we won't instigate it into the software until we've actually tested it so much with, and some of you will be involved in that, by the way. Some of you will definitely be involved in the future. But we're still internally testing it. I want to make it very clear that this is your money that's involved in these alerts. We're not going to put something out there that hasn't been thoroughly tested to our satisfaction and given proper results. And remember, we're going to be a registered fund here in the United Kingdom shortly. And when that happens, I will be able to give more specific trading advice. At the moment, we can't do that. We're not registered. Okay, the changes, I wouldn't say they're under the hood, Hans. You're looking at them right now. There's nothing, we're not hiding anything. In fact, we're right here in this webinar showing it to you. And again, let me finish my point and then we'll take questions at the end, because let's show a few more. We've got the Euro GBP long trade. Okay, so we know here that there's an alert. The next thing I do is we go up here to the Trading the Market service and we send the long alert out. Okay, and again, I've put that in there for you to view. We were trading here around let's have a look, 9.72463. Okay, so the alert's gone out. It's saying the market's bullish. It's very clear. It's saying that the market here is bullish. Okay, so if it's bullish, prove it to me. Give me no supply, a test as the market falls. Let me ask you all a question. Okay, this is really important. You see this high volume up bar, which I thought was absorption volume, and I still do. What happens to the volume as the market falls to the entry? What do you notice about the volume as it falls into the entry here? What's happening to the volume? And that's the activity of the smart money. What's happening? Yeah, and let me ask you all a question again. Are we in an uptrend or a downtrend when that signal appears? Are we in an uptrend or a downtrend? We're definitely in an uptrend. Look, the diamonds are green. That's part of our proprietary system. The medium-term trending system is green. Yes, this turns red down here, but that's a lot more sensitive than that and that. So I don't tend to trade on the thermometer. I trade on these two systems. Now, it's very interesting because I had an email from a customer who traded a lot of contracts in here today. Significant. And let's go and have a look again at what we look for. Okay, what to watch out for? No supply or a test on low volume. Any stopping volume is bullish. Note that we have the ultra high volume up bar. It could be absorption volume, so we monitor the 15-minute and 5-minute charts for entries. Okay, Let's go and have a quick look. So we're not anywhere near our target yet because it needs to be retested, but let's have a look at the 15-minute chart. Here's the 15-minute chart. Do you agree with me that we see testing after the alert was sent out at the entry level and no supply? Yes or no? Do you agree with that statement or not in your own mind? And please, if you disagree with me, do tell me, because I'd like the feedback. But if you disagree with me, tell me why you disagree with me. That's all I ask. I don't mind disagreement, but the alert was very specific this time. And I will say, thanks to Grigory, he gave me some good feedback about the alerts and said, look, you need to tell people a bit more specifically, what time frames to look at. Now, that's a 15-minute chart, and a test is very simple to identify. It's not complicated. I'll show you again. Here's the markdown of the market. Okay, it's marked down to the entry identified in the trade alert. I ask you all, what happens to the volume as the market's falling in the uptrend? Just answer it. What's happening to the volume in an uptrend as the market's falling? Look at it for yourself. This is the best learning lesson I can give you. And if you can't get it after this, then go and use a stochastic, because I can't teach it any other way. I can only send out alerts as they're happening, as the market's moving, not in hindsight, as it's happening, and tell you what to look for. Now, you might say, well, hold on a second, Gavin, there's 3 green signals. Which one do I take? Very simple. You wait for the smaller time frame to confirm that the market's changing. And I'll show you that, okay? Just bear with me a sec. Hold on a second, guys. Okay, well, that was interesting. That was my fire alarm going off. I thought the kids had just set fire to the house, but then I've just realised my wife is cooking a Chinese meal and set all the alarms off. But anyway, it's always good to have an alarm. So that was that my dinner, said Alan. Very good. Yeah. And this time it's not my fault. Yes. Anyway, it's not an emergency. Nothing's on fire, so we'll carry on. So we can see here very clearly that we've got a down move here, a down move here in an uptrend, and the volume's decreasing on the down moves. And look, the software picks it up beautifully. Again, this is something you'll learn once you understand VSA. It's picking it up. So you say, well, where do I go long? Well, you jump down a time frame, okay, and you start to look at what the market's telling you. And if we come down a time frame, you can see as the market pops up all the way up here, and in fact, that's where I went long, the test. Okay, another one confirming it, the test. Another one confirming it at the same entry. Another one confirming it. You can keep going with this. Steve says, okay, guys, you can stop making fun of my wife's cooking. Yes, I'm not eating out tonight. We do have Chinese food tonight because we like to cook that. And what is she doing, says James. Yeah, you've got it all right. Very well done. But sometimes, unfortunately, she slightly overcooks it. But anyway, no worries. I'm fine with that. But it's not someone said, is that a trade alert coming in? No, that's very good. You're all in good form tonight. Anyway, next one to show you. Is there any questions on this so far, by the way? Any questions? I don't know what else I can really do. The joke was overcooked. Oh dear. Okay. Any questions? Describe what a test looks like. Okay, now that's a very interesting question, and I know a few of you have asked about a test. When you see a test of something, right, the first thing is it needs to be on low volume. The lower, the better. Okay, so let's zoom in on this a little bit. Okay, now we can see down here that as the market comes down into the area where I went long here, and you can see where the alert was, we had strength coming in on high volume. We came back into the area on very low volume. No supply is in fact a test. It's the same thing. I tend to not get too wrapped up with the word no supply and testing, because at the end of the day, they're the same thing. If professional money are not selling on the down move, there's low volume. And the next bar then closes higher. And again, if you just simply read the indicator, okay, it doesn't, again, it just takes a little bit of study. Okay, it takes a little bit of study, not much. Just read it. If the next bar is up, which it was in this case, it confirmed it. I took the trade. I know several of you took the trade as well, and we're still long in the position. And again, over here, they've tested the market over here, and we're not expecting a lot of movement now. So what I'm going to do very shortly is move all my stops up to profit, all of them on the Forex. All of those will be profitable. Now, the key part of this is to understand that a market doesn't just go in one direction. It goes down, up, down, up. So the way to get into a trade is use a small time frame if you need to. Now today, if we look at the 1 minute chart here, you can see what I mean by directional moves, okay, and then sideways moves. You make your money in the directional move. That's a 1 minute chart. That's a significant move in Forex. So if you want to, you can get the trade alert and just go to a 1 minute chart and start scalping it. Okay? They're there. All the signals will be there on a 1 minute time frame. They'll be there. They will always be there because the market moves based on supply and demand. Samuel says, after a no supply, well, the next bar is up, but should it go up on more volume than the no supply bar? Yes, it should. It's better to go up on a slight increase in volume, Samuel. That's a good point. You don't want it to go up on lower volume than the test because it means it's going to come and retest. So that's a good point. Yeah. Hans, there is a big difference in the alerts, but maybe you're not seeing them. But are you subscribing to them? I mean, are you in the live trading room? Do you come in with us and see that they are different because they are looking at trend where the previous alerts did not do that. And if you're using Sierra Chart or Infinity, the older version, you're not seeing, these are new alerts. You won't be getting them. Unless you're a member of the trading rooms, you won't be seeing these. They are different. They're very specific as well. Winston, when you go to the lower time frame, you should be looking for the entry. Test no supply at the very right edge of the chart. Correct. Correct. And it doesn't matter if you're using, Winston, if you're trading stocks, a daily, weekly or monthly chart, the same principles apply. I happen to be scalping here today because I'm trading in a live trading competition on Friday where I've got an hour to make money. Okay, David, yes, they do. The trading sessions with, I think the ones with Darren and Abraham, I'm not sure if they're here yet. They were thinking of opening it for the London session. At the moment, it doesn't. It's the US session. So at the moment, it doesn't. But that might be something they'll add because there's a lot of good movement at the London Open. Hell of a lot of good movement. Okay, I've got some alerts coming in right now. Okay, they're all taking off at the moment. And that's not surprising. Okay, and lo and behold, look, the S&P, the pound did start to fall, but I'm not going to risk that. There's no point in trading in there. It's just whipsawing. But the better trades at the moment today were in the spot market. So let me finish off then before I take any questions. And I know there will be questions. And Darren, are you here? I don't know if you're in the room. I haven't seen you, mate. But let's have a quick look. See if my colleague Darren's here. Okay. Oh, you're both here. Okay, good. We'll bring you in a second. Let's have a quick look. Okay, I don't see Abraham. So is Abraham here? I don't see him at all, but I see you, Darren. So yeah, sure, Gregory. I'll do that now, and then okay. Let me bring you guys in. I'm just bringing the team in here. Okay, before we go on, and making them organisers so they can speak. So just bear with me. So this is Darren, who runs the live trading room every day. And the question came in, Darren, when you want to do a quick sound check, will you be doing the London session? Because there's some people interested.
Yeah. Hey, Gavin.
Yep, hear you fine. Hear you fine, mate. I'll make Gregory. Is Abraham here? I don't see him.
Yes, he is, mate. He's in the room as he's in as an organizer, so you might be under.
I had to log in as an organizer, Gav. I couldn't find the registrant link.
Okay, that's fine. Welcome, and glad to hear your daughter's okay, Abraham. That's great news. Very happy with that. Good. Hope she's well. Hope she's well. Okay. All right. So I've just made Gregory present as well. Gregory, can you do a quick sound check? Just see if you're here.
Everybody.
Yep, there's Gregory. That's our Chief Technology Officer here in Lymington with me. Okay, so let's just go back and we'll just re-summarize a couple of things. I want to finish off before I bring the guys in on a very interesting setup that happened in the NASDAQ. And let me just bring up the NQ. This was from this morning. I did take this trade. I didn't send an alert out. Let me be clear on that. I did not send an alert out on this, but I want to go back and explain it. In fact, I think I've already got it set up in the Infinity platform. I have. Okay, good. Okay, can everyone see my chart of the NASDAQ in the Infinity 80 charting platform? You should be able to see the NASDAQ, the NQ, and it's a 3-minute chart before I move forward. Can everybody see this? Okay, good. All right. So here is a chart that actually sets the scene for why the market fell today. It starts up here, right at the top, with a buying climax, but that happened overnight. So that was at 2:33 a.m. Now this is Chicago time, by the way. So my chart's here because I trade with Infinity. This is my Infinity 80 charting platform, and again, this is the trading ladder I use. This is my account here, and I trade with Infinity as my preferred futures broker, and will be trading on Friday with my active trades and my Infinity 80 live accounts, both of which are always funded with around £5,000 minimum. But you'll see that on Friday for those of you that are coming to the event. And I'll be trading 3 lots in futures, and I'll be trading £2.50 a pip with the Forex account, so you can see that as well. Now, first of all, can everybody see here the signal, sign of weakness 1, the buying climax? Can you all see that? And you can see that there's a sign of weakness on a very high volume up bar. You can see that, yeah? Now, what do you all notice about the very next price bar? Okay, that's the key to it. What do you notice about the very next bar? Does it close higher or much lower or even lower than the low of the climactic bar? What do you notice? Ladies and gentlemen, if you ever see this setup there, right there, the market will fall. It will very rarely go higher, very rarely. But what tends to happen is it goes up and down in these waves. And I know some of you will use the Weiss wave. I use a different wave count, and I've used the Weiss wave myself. But what the software is now looking for, and what the alerts that Grigory has developed are now looking for, is a reason to go short. Okay, we know we've got a downtrend. If we were to put the scanner manager up this morning, everything was starting to turn negative. And what I mean by the scanner manager is this. So if we go here to the NQ, the NASDAQ, here it is. This morning, the smaller time frames, they've changed now because they've gone into congestion. But this morning, these small time frames, the 15-minute, the 5, that they're all red. Everything was looking weak. So we then say, is there a trade here? Is there a setup? Okay. Now you could be asleep. You could be in the supermarket. You could be right by your computer waiting for a trade. But what do you want to know to make money? You want to know that something's setting up. So what was the most difficult part for me in my trading? It was finding, as Manish just typed in, you just read my mind, Manish, where is the trade? I've got multiple instruments that I'm looking at I can keep going here, right? I've got multiple time frames open at the moment in the futures market. I've got multiple charts open in the Forex market, and I'm getting emails that are specifically designed to find me the highest probability low risk trades based on the key VSA principles and the trend. That is as close as I believe we're going to get. Well, Grigory will disagree with me, I'm sure, to the Holy Grail. I think there's other things we're going to add that will make it more specific. But nevertheless, we see an alert coming in. Now, what I'm going to do is show you that alert. And it came in on the NASDAQ into the email account at 12, I think it was 12:30. It was somewhere around here. I think it was there. Let's have a quick look. Oh, there we go. So here it is. Okay, it's the NQ, the NASDAQ futures. It was a 1 minute time frame, which is what it was looking at initially. It was a short trade. It had an open level of 4,657. It gave you the stop loss because the computer automatically calculates that. And then it gives you a profit target. So where our previous alerts have been rather more unspecific, because again, with these alerts, the computer is calculating based on probability what the likelihood is of the market moving. It's then down to you as the individual to take the trade. Now, at some point in the near future, when we have our hedge fund, we'll be doing it all anyway, and you, I hope, will participate with us. But at the moment, this is your decision. You have signed a disclaimer. You understand the risk, and you must also understand that they're not going to be 100% right. And there has been one or two, not many actually, that haven't been right, and that we've been stopped out because of an upthrust or no demand. So I'm not going to reveal to anyone, so don't ask, how we compute the targets. I will not reveal that publicly at all. So I understand why you're asking. I just want to be very clear right now. This is so advanced that I will not reveal it, and nor will any of my team. And we've been instructed not to, because it's an algorithm that's looking at risk reward parameters. But let's go on to what the trade looks like. So we've got the alert. We know it came in at 12:30 UK time. So we have the alert there. That is only an alert. That is not telling you to rush in and sell it. It's telling you to go and use your skills as a VSA expert, which you will all become. Certainly most of you I know in the room have been following us for years, but now we're refining it to make it easier. Because what we found is traders don't want to anymore study charts for 8 hours a day to find a trade. What they want is for the software or for the computer or for the app, there's a clue that's coming, to do the work for them. Find the principle that Tom Williams developed, followed by the confirmation principle that I developed and I've written about in my books, and then have confirmation from the trending system that the market is moving in the direction of price that you're trading. So you're not trading against the smart money, you're actually trading with them. And so in this example here, we've got the alert at 12:30. Remember, that's 6:30 Chicago time for an entry at 4657. Now, we know we've got a buying climax in the background. Okay. Now, if we go to the where are we? The NASDAQ. Here we go. We know we've got this in the background. Okay, buying climax. Now we come down and we look at the time that the alert hit, and it was right in here. Okay, let me just highlight this and make sure you can all see this. Okay, this is Chicago time down here. That's your area. That's where the alert's telling you that this is going down. Okay, now you can see very clearly the entry type price. It's very clear. There's nothing. Now, the next thing I'm going to ask you, to all of our members of Trading the Markets, what are the key principles we teach you to short the market in a downtrend? Type them in. What are the key principles that we teach you to trade in a downtrend? Yeah, I mean, I can't. It's so obvious to us. Look, that's an upthrust at the price target in a downtrend, and you've got your confirmation telling you that the software's seen it. Now, as I've looked at these alerts over the last 4 to 5 weeks, I realise that clearly these are powerful, but at the same time, they need to be put in the hands of traders that have had some training in VSA. I don't want you to think for any 1 second that this is just, oh, there's a green signal when an alert, I just press the button. No, this is not what this is about. If you become a member of our team, and I call it a family actually, because that's what all our customers are. They're a family. You must understand the principles. And do you know something? Because of the advent of apps and all of those things, a lot of people don't want to spend any time anymore learning, which is very sad. It's very sad for society. I see it going on all the time that we've got so much instant gratification in so many parts of our lives, and you know, still people complain about the world. Oh, it's terrible. You know, we've got this going on, that going on. Do you know how great this world is right now? It's unbelievable. We've got things that we never dreamed of 25 years ago. Just look at the fact that I'm sitting in my office in Lymington in the New Forest National Park talking to hundreds of you from all over the world, right? And some of you are one of you's in China, another one's in India, we've got another guy in Pakistan here. And we're doing it for free. And if I said 10 years or even 15 years ago, well, don't worry about having to buy phones, because in 15 years, you'll just plug it into a wireless application that will allow you to talk to everybody. People don't believe what's possible. Anything is possible if you believe it can be possible. I believed, as Grigory believed, as the team believed, we could develop trading alerts that were high probability, low risk, but, and I stress, and I don't want to be a snake oil salesman and say, this is it, if you buy this, it's all done, you're going to make millions. That's a lie. That would be incorrect. The fact is, if you put the effort in to understand the underlying reason for the alert that's there, if you understand why weakness appears on up bars, if you understand the reason that strength appears on down bars, and you then look for the principles and let the computer tell you when the principles are there, then, my friends, you are the smart money, surely, because you've got knowledge that other people in the world, and Tom said this to me, probably 2 to 3% of the retail traders out there do not have this information. And this brings in a great opportunity to bring in Darren Jobling, who runs every day with Abraham in a minute, but I'll bring Darren in first, who runs our live trading room, which is run every day. And there has been some comments, Darren, today that they'd love to see a London session, and that's something you've got to talk about. But Surendran, yes, we will have provable statistics on this by the end of December, which will be published once we're registered as a hedge fund in the United Kingdom, Surendran. So yes, but the easy way to see it is very simple. Come into the live trading room every day and see it for yourself, because you can't argue with live analysis. It's easy to publish results after the event and then tailor them to what you want. When our trade alerts go out, as our members know, they're done at the moment they're identified. Yes, they're a little bit delayed at the moment, but you can see for yourself, and you'll be able to see that we take the trades. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Guy, you're right. You've got to you've got to understand the principles, and then they're not difficult to understand. And the best way to learn them, as I've been hearing, is to join Darren and Abraham in their room, and they reinforce them. You see, reinforcement in learning is what makes you successful. I studied Anthony Robbins. Some of you will know who he is, some of you won't. But I studied Tony Robbins' work very closely many years ago, 14, 15 years ago, in fact longer. I did the firewalk, for those of you that don't know what that is, but it's an interesting thing to do. And it made me realize that some of the greatest people in the world have often copied some of the other great people in the world and learnt from what they do. And when I learnt from Tom Williams, I just learned from a master. That's all I did. I didn't invent anything new until I had an understanding of the underlying philosophy of the VSA principles. And then I realized something very important that Tom missed, that there was a process to take the trade, not just a simple principle. And that process involved ultra high volume, followed by low volume, at a price level. And once you see it, as we've seen actually today here on this chart, where it's coming off, you can see it came off here, it's going back up again on no demand. But the reason it came off today, the reason it was weak, was the supply there that came in, okay, on this instrument. And the other reason I went long was nothing to do with what was happening here. It was what was happening there. Because if the market was genuinely really weak, we would have taken out this bar here and not closed above it. But we closed above it. And that confirmed that we're still moving higher. And we will go higher, almost for certain. Hans, we are going to be moving all our websites, and we own several, into pounds, dollars, and euros very shortly, just so you know. So everything will be priced in the individual country that you're in. So if you're thinking of buying right now, buy in dollars, because at the moment the dollar is really cheap, and it will be going up. I believe it's the next 5 days. We're going to change the whole sites, so everything's priced. And in Europe, we will have to price with VAT, just so you know. So that will add about 18% to the price. But we have already sent an email out warning everybody that that would happen. And it has to happen because the way our company is now structured is we've got a head office in Chicago, London, and again, we're going to open an office in Australia as well. So we'll be working with local currencies. So yeah, that's a good question. So Darren, over to you. I mean, I don't know what else I can particularly do here to show people how the alerts work. But let me ask you a question, Darren. First of all, you've been trading with VSA now for well over a year now. You learned in Afghanistan, of all places. Some people here are completely new, but you're running with Abraham a trading room every day where you're using this new system that we've developed here, and you're going to be able to show this as they appear. Talk us through what you hope to achieve over the next few weeks and months with the room.
Yeah, I mean, what we've been doing, we've been running the room since September this year, and we've been running it as a subscription service for the last 5 weeks, and the customers who have chose to subscribe to that room, what we do is we demonstrate the principles in the live market. So if we see the alert, we actually set the alert up. So they can see it in the screen, real time. We're not using the power of hindsight. We're not trying to Monday night quarterback. What we're actually doing is we're setting the alerts up, showing the alert on the screen, and every session is recorded. So each participant gets access via a private personal link, which is password protected to the recording. So they can then go back and check the status of the alert and how it panned out. So we hide nothing. We show you the actual email as Gavin's shown you. We set it up on the screen with trigger numbers and also price the price at the time. We set up the time the alert actually come in. So we set it up in local time. On the exact bar that it come in, and also the price, the last price that when the particular alert come in. So we hide absolutely nothing there to see. And the guys in the live trading room have seen us actually trade these with really good results. The purpose of the room, we were inundated, myself and Abraham Sesenia, who is the other host of the room, and we were inundated with emails over the last 6-8 months. And I want to progress. How can I learn? Where's the best place to learn? And we come up with the idea was born from customers, really, for a room for everybody to be part of, which covers futures, we cover stocks, we cover forex on the spot. We use the Infinity AT platform, we use the MT4 platform, we use the end of day, we use Sierra Charts platform. So we use a number of different platforms and we cover a number of different markets. And up to now, everybody who's been in that room absolutely responds, and their level of knowledge has grown so much in such a short space of time. It's just been absolutely astounding. and the level of the questions which are being asked is proof of where the guys are developing as traders, and seeing them on other events like the webathon we done. The level of questions from the guys who were in from our room was just absolutely phenomenal. And the feedback that we're getting is that's what we're basing every decision on the room, basically on the feedback that we get. And the feedback is it's absolutely outstanding. We couldn't ask for better feedback. So we know what we do is working, but it's based on a number of things. It's not just based on myself and Abraham. It's based on interaction. It's based on the tools that we have, the charts, the email alerts, and we mix that all together in with a live question and answer session where you can ask your questions on a particular chart that you're trading or a particular instrument that you're following, and we analyze that as a room. And it's a really, really constructive environment to be part of, and where you can learn, but you're learning it at market edge. So you're watching us pull the trigger as we see trades come into the market. We're also have clients who are spotting trades again, who are calling these out, and we also have the alerts where we're using those alerts as well. So the purpose of the room, what we are hoping to develop, is a room full of traders who are spotting opportunities, and almost as a mini hedge fund. We're looking at people who to be able to where we all share ideas, so everybody can see alerts coming in and looking at particular markets and seeing those setups. So your own subscription pays for itself a multitude of times based on opportunities that we see from the alerts which Gregory has developed. We see from our own analysis, from Gavin's analysis, from Tom's analysis, and from Abraham and other members of the team. So we want to develop this community where it's basically education based on live markets, using all of the advanced tools that we have to give you that edge.
Yeah, and just talking to, well, I'm just going to show you another. I know Abraham, your colleague in the room, is with us. Abraham, can you just do a quick sound check?
Abraham's not in the room at the moment, Gavin, because we have the New York session which opened 10 minutes ago, so Abraham's had to go over and open the New York session.
Okay, I was going to just talk about this crude oil trade alert that we did.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's had to open the room because we run two sessions, guys. We run one at 9:30 New York, and we run the second session at 4 p.m. New York. So my colleague's over now. He's actually opened the room for the 4 p.m. session.
Okay.
Just to touch on the London session, because I know it has been a very popular topic, guys. If I'll put this out to you. If you want a London session, then email me direct. And we can put that together. But it's we're going to base it on numbers. If you want a London session, then please send me the email, and we'll certainly look to put something together. We're trying to free my schedule up at the moment to accommodate that, but it is something that we're looking at. But if London's your session, or the Asian close, London opens your session, whichever you're looking at, then please drop me an email, and we're trying to accommodate everybody we can.
Great. Okay. And just to look at something that's close to Abraham's heart, which is crude oil. Now, this was a trade alert that I did last week based on some key principles. And again, I know I got some emails from people, they weren't sure about this, but then and now they went short at the right time. And it's clear, I mean, what we had here, this was a swing trade, okay, so some of you are still in the trade, I know, but it would have been closed out today because they're marking it up ready for the federal announcement, but it was clear. This is a weak market, okay, and this was sent out over a week ago now, so let's have a quick look at the date. We can just go back and I'll tell you exactly when it was sent out. I think it was the 2nd of December. Okay, so 6 days ago. Pretty close. Now, if we come and access it and we just look, I'm not going to play it because you're not going to hear it. But again, what we'll do is I'll put it in the room. So for those of you that want to learn and understand what these alerts are all about, this is a good way to do it. It's just they're not long. They're only 5 minutes long. We keep them short and sweet because you want to get into the trade. But this was a weak market. Remember, weakness appears on up bars. Look for up thrust and no demands, especially on the 15 and 60-minute time frames. Initial target, we're trading at 42 nearly there, was down to 37. Then we go and have a look at crude oil today, and we'll look at what's happened. And what we'll do is we'll look at the principles. I'll just take a 4-hour chart as a snapshot for you. Okay, plenty of examples. There was the trap up move that we were looking for. There it is, absolutely there. Over here's trap up moves. Everything's there. And if we look at the low, there it is, 36.64. Okay, now, either we're guessing this or we're right for reasons. We're right for reasons because we're using the principles of VSA. And if you want to study a great chart that's weak, look at oil. And again, it's funny that the media do not report the weakness in oil until it's collapsed. They're too late. This is where you short up here at 42, but they don't. Yeah, these are what we call trend clusters, Dana, and they basically are support and resistance levels, massive resistance at these prices, which is why we forecast the 37 level. And again, you can see that for yourself. Yeah, Charles, we'll come to that in a second. A few people are asking me about the alerts. How are they coming and what are we doing with them? And that's a great point before I bring in Grigory, who you may have questions for. Keep in mind that Grigory, who's from Russia, now lives over here, down the road from me here in Lymington in the New Forest National Park with his family. And he is really the main man behind these developments. I mean, it was my idea and Tom's ideas, but the actual logic behind it is very much from Grigory. So I do want to bring him in on this so you can understand what you look for. But I've been testing these for weeks, and I am so amazed that we've got so close to what Tom Williams wanted to see from his work. We're very close on it. And when I say close, there's still improvements. There's still things we can do. But right now, as you've just seen today, you get certain days during a week when everything lines up. Today was a great example. Crude oil is not weak at the moment because I think this bar is going to get tested. But if it takes out the low of that bar at 36, it's gone. It's done. Okay. Markets don't like high volume and up bars, but I'm almost certain we'll see a test here. They'll mark it back up to the top, and if it goes up on no demand, it's going to come straight back down again. But look at the principles. They're here. As Tom kept teaching me when I was a student of his, he said if they were there in hindsight, they must have been there at the time they appeared, and they were. And they were. And it's not many traders that will trade live accounts and actually send trade alerts out. In fact, I'm one of the few people that do it with looking at the team around me. Will quite happily send these alerts out because we realize that you do the opposite of the crowd. If you do the opposite of the crowd, you are not a herd trader. You're not a member of the herd. And that's a very important thing to keep in mind. You don't want to be a member of the herd. Now, the questions come in, and it's a good one, about the trading the markets service itself. What we've done, if you go here to our website, you can see a lot of the alerts. It's tradingthemarkets.com. But if you click on the subscribe button for tonight, what we've done, because you're here, this is only for those of you that are here in this room, we're going to switch this one off tomorrow night, is, as you'll see, an opportunity to not just become involved with the Trading the Markets new alerts that we've done, but also to become a member of Darren and Abraham's trading room for the rest of December. So you get daily sessions. You'll also, if you want to get the scanners that I've been showing you tonight, there's an option to do that with the software. You just click on that button here, and then what it does is take you down through the page. You can go monthly or you can go yearly. If you go yearly, you get a discount. But at the moment, if you put in the special promotional code, which is here, TTM21, you get 50% off those prices. Okay, so for those of you that were thinking about this, before we increase our prices into pounds and euros, and obviously we'll be changing it around the world and Australian dollars, because the US dollar is strengthening, and at the moment all our business goes through our US company, Trade Guider Systems LLC, which is a Chicago-based business, which means we can charge in US dollars. That's going to change fairly shortly, and I can't give you an exact time. A couple of you asked earlier. It could be in the next week. It could take a little bit longer because we've got to change all the way the credit card processing is done. But we did want to give people who were interested a chance to become part of the service. And again, this is the quickest way. If you're, or most of you are members, a lot of you are members anyway, but if you're, a couple of you have typed in, how do I become a member? This is the way. You get the software, you get the alerts, you get the trading room, you get everything. And this is something we've put together just after the Thanksgiving promotion that we did, which was very successful, because we realize it's tough out there. People are finding it hard financially, but they do want to trade. And the best thing we could do, I think, is to adapt to the market, which is what we've done. And hopefully, I think we've done that. So if you want to become a member of this, this is the way to go. You go to the web page, and I'll type it in here. So you've all got it. There it is. Okay, and for those of you that are watching the recording, I know many of you will probably be doing that. You know, after the recording, contact us if you're still interested, because you'll watch it on YouTube, and you won't get an opportunity to subscribe tonight because we'll be closing it. But what we do is we limit the room, the Trading the Markets room, to a certain number of members simply because of the amount of questions we get. And tomorrow night we have Philip Friston, who's a former hedge or fund manager, coming in and doing trading sessions. And you can appreciate the reason we limit the subscriptions is because we get too many people, you can't answer all the questions. Okay, the VSA Club is included, Kelvin, in this offer. And if you've got the end of day software and you Trade Guider end of day, go to youtube.com/Trade Guider. There's loads of stuff on there about end of day, loads. It's just www.youtube.com/Trade Guider. There's lots of good stuff. Yeah, exactly. We are weak. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So let me bring in Grigory, who developed these alerts, obviously. And I know we're going to do a trading session for our members, Grigory, on this. But Grigory, can you talk us through? Grigory, first of all, can you do a sound check? That would be helpful.
Yeah, hi, Gavin. I'm here.
Good. Okay. And then just you know, we've seen quite a lot of information here tonight for people, and you know, we've seen what the markets have done. We've seen the Nasdaq alert and stuff, but you know, I think, you know, obviously I'm a trader and I get very enthusiastic about these things. Of course I do. But from your point of view, you're very logical and you think through the whole process of why an alert should be triggered. Could you just, before we finish and wrap up, explain to us your logic? Because you learned VSA by going through all the mentorship courses. You spent a lot of money with Trade Guider before you joined us. Over $10,000, I think, a lot of money, and then you became part of the team, and that was wonderful. And I don't know if you're prepared to talk about your background, because that's up to you, but I do think people would like to know how you became involved, and then how you saw the potential for these alerts to really grow the business. So Grigory, over to you.
Yeah, hi everybody. Again, so let's start from the beginning. The logic of those alerts. And let me try to combine answer for this with some questions what I have seen today during this webinar. First of all, there are a lot of points that those alerts are almost similar to the ones what we have provided before and what you can see in the software. And the answer, they are completely different. And the reason why is in those alerts, if you will see more closely and compare the old and new alerts, you will see that you have some levels. In the new alerts, you have some levels like open price, stop loss, and take profit. And I can assure you that open level, stop level, and even take profit. Yeah, thanks, Gavin. So you can see here, open level, it's exactly mentioned by the number, stop loss mentioned by the number, take profit is mentioned as a number. And I can assure you that open level, stop loss level, and take profit level are very, very serious levels of support or resistance. And this is already proven by the tests what we have run. Again, another question was there, do we have a statistic what Gavin has opened? It has answered it already. When the question was asked, I can assure you that we do have our, let's say, internal statistic already, what cannot be published, of course, as Gavin has highlighted. This statistic is quite amazing. Even for me, it is really amazing. Well, Gavin has again mentioned, I think, Gavin, you told that I'm thinking that this is a grad. No, I'm not thinking that this is a grad. It cannot be like that. It's not even close to the grad, but I can assure you guys we will do all possible to create something which is quite close to that, and of course, as a customers of the Trade Guider, we will at some point get it. So back to alerts. When we are starting to talk about, when we started to talk about old alerts, we've been talking about only the sequences on a certain time frame. At the moment, we are not just looking for the time frames, we are looking for the trends of price on the different time frames. We are aligning these trends all together. There is a logic behind of this alignment. And on top of that, what we are doing, we are giving you the levels, support and resistance levels, which are good for taking the trades. It's not obligatory. You should take into consideration that it's not obligatory that those alerts even will be triggered. In most of the cases, what we can see, the trend plays a role, and if the trend is very, very, very strong, then alerts are not triggered. The price is just going to the direction alerts without coming back. So a lot of things to work on at the moment, but this is something what is already working, tested, and the results are somehow proven. And Gavin is trading this on his Leave account. I am trading this on his Leave account. But again, for the customers who are in a Gavin's trading room or Darren's or Abraham's trading room, we are asking, very strictly asking, not to trade these alerts on the real account. You need to know how to trade them. So you can see, even today, Gavin has shown you how those alerts looks like. So if you see that, the time of the alert is matching and the parameters are matching, if you would like to trade it, trade on the demo account only. Do not trade anything what you don't know how to trade or you don't know the final result. So everything is related to the risk reward. And if your risk reward will be jeopardized, then you will finally lose. Okay? There are some questions what I would like to answer. Actually, I was thinking to answer them much before, but right now, Yasser was saying that I have bought Ninja Trader plugin today, but I couldn't install it till now. I'm sorry to say that there is no enough support. There are two points here, yes, sir. First of all, we are informing our customers, and when you are you have opened the ticket today, you should be able to see that we are saying that each ticket will be responded within 48 hours. Okay, that's the first point. And second point, that if you will look to your mail, there are some questions which were asked from you, I would say 3 or maybe even more hours back. So please look at that and reply accordingly as it was asked from you. Okay? So guys, if you do have any further questions, just let me know. There was a question about some comments about blind or colorblind people. Well, we've been thinking about that. Even Gavin didn't speak with me about that, but there were some comments, and we have already implemented that in Metastock plugin. In Metastock, you do have a possibility to see letters which are identifying the type of trend, or even for volume thermometer, there are some also comments in there. So we are working on that, I can confirm, and we will be thinking about that more deeply for some further products. Okay. Any further? Just to complete with the technical support points, just would like to tell you that usually on Thursdays we do have a technical webinar which is called Meet Programming and Technical Support Team, where our head of technical support department, AJ Robinson, and me, we are talking about our software, about capabilities, about different aspects, how to use the software, and how to work with any issues if you have. So welcome there, and you should be able to get the webinar invitation to the webinar for that, I think, tomorrow. Okay, let me go through the questions one by one. Dana, what are the gray blocks on your screen? I'm not sure what you are asking for. Most probably.
Gregory, I think you're well behind. I answered that. Scroll down and you'll find you've covered it all. I answered those a long time ago.
Okay, yeah, and which one you didn't answer?
I think the only question we've got that's outstanding at the moment is from Stephen about when are we going to be having TradeStation launched, and that's we're still negotiating with TradeStation for their SDK, so no immediate time frame on that. And Alvin, yes, all the Meet the Programmers trading webinars are recorded and put on YouTube. They're there. So again, I'll just type it in. If you want to find out more about that, go to www.youtube.com/TradeGuider. Real easy. And there's a lot of stuff on there. Whether you're an end-of-day trader, a real-time trader, that's a good. And this is where this video is going to be posted. Yeah, no problem at all. You're welcome. Okay. Good. All right. I think we've covered quite a lot tonight. Well, we have covered quite a lot tonight. There's, if you want to find out more about Darren and Abraham's trading room, which is included in the offer that we sent here, if you just go to this page here, it's just tradeguider.com, VSA room. Very easy, and that will tell you more about what they do. And that's in there right now, and I think they're in the room right now, basically. So, and again, for those of you that are in London, look forward to seeing you at the Traders Expo on Friday. Be trading live, be trading my active trades and my FP markets, and also my Infinity account. Is there anything, guys, you want to add?
Yeah, just if you do have any further questions, if there's anything that you're not sure of regarding the alerts or the offers, please feel free. I've put my email address and Abraham's email address in the room. Please contact us, and we'll answer any questions that you may have.
Yeah, perfect. So you put them in the room, yeah? That's good.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, good. Great. Glad you all enjoyed it. Sounds like a lot of positive feedback. And thanks, Gregory. Best regards to Abraham, and thanks, Darren. And to all of you, God bless. Take care. And again, if you're not a trade guider, Trading the Markets member, now's your opportunity. Just go to our website, tradingthemarkets.com. Have a look at those alerts that we sent out earlier, because I think we're going to find 3 or 4 more tomorrow. They're looking very promising right now. So all the best to all of you. Take care, and bye-bye.